Well, welcome everybody. That's Seth Kamens. I'm Sean Palmer. Seth and Sean here on getting a little bit of feedback, but we'll deal with that. Look,
we haven't had feedback in a long time.
I know. Look, we've been doing this for what, 11 years?
Yeah,
11, 12 years. And last night, just to start us off, I tuned into the Knicks game. I don't generally watch every Knicks game. I watch most Islander games. I watch most Jet games. I definitely don't watch most Mets games. But it's I would say I probably watch 40 Knicks games a year, maybe a little less. I mean, and when they're good, I want to watch them, and they've been pretty good. And last night I tuned into the Knicks playing the Grizzlies, and it happened to be the 30th anniversary of Mike Breen and Walt Frazier doing the show.
No kidding.
30 years. 25 years. Excuse me, 25 years. They did like 5 years on the radio. So 25 years of that. And I remember Mike Breen coming up as on WFAN. And I went to, at my synagogue, a meet and greet, a question and answer of Mike Breen, probably when he was in his first year. And I interviewed him for my high school radio station 25 years ago. He's a lot different than he was back then. He's a little bit more gray now. And he says that that's probably attributable to Clyde. But it's amazing, two things. First of all, he's mentioned that when they first started, they were all in awe of Clyde Frazier. Like they weren't partners. They were, here's Clyde and here's everybody else, right? And Clyde said, I had taken off like 8 to 10 years after I retired before I started this gig because he needed to get away from basketball in general, which, again, I found a little odd. But I understand when you're a professional athlete, you have to get away from the game. 25 years is a really long time. Like, I mean, like I said, you and I have been doing this for 11, maybe 11 and a half years at this point.
And my hair wasn't gray then either.
No, it wasn't. And you had a lot more of it. Yeah. And look, our lives have changed. I've moved, I think, 4 or 5 times since we started this, back and forth to the same apartment. And look, for those that listen on the weekly basis or the monthly basis, or even if you tune in once in a while, we really appreciate you too.
Thank you.
We do. We thank you. And Breen and Frazier both thanked the fans last night. And
Sean, is this our last show?
No, absolutely not. No, I just feel like, look.
You feel a little nostalgic?
I do, because we're halfway to where they are. I mean,
with a little bit less of a fan base. And ironically, about 10 or 11 years ago, I think I looked this up, I interviewed Clyde Frazier.
And I saw him at the courthouse about 5 years ago, so 6 years ago.
I interviewed him for Back Sports Page.
Yeah.
He had just opened a restaurant like 33rd and 10th that I think went under.
Yeah. So, I mean, it is congratulations to those two guys. I mean, 25 years of the same.
How did Clyde come up with a wardrobe to handle 25 years? I mean, I can't imagine he's worn anything twice.
It wasn't any different than he normally does. I tuned in about halfway through the game, so I didn't get the initial. They got jerseys. They did their whole thing, but they did show Breen when I think it was the 10-year anniversary, where Clyde presented Breen with a jacket, or Breen came up with a Walt Clyde Frazier metallic jacket, which was amazing because if you've ever seen Mike Breen, he's like one of those like very tempered guys, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's unfortunate that he's not on national TV anymore, because I really loved listening to Mike Breen.
He doesn't do the national game anymore?
Nope.
There hasn't been much on ABC. I mean, the Saturday night games I never watch.
Well, JJ Redick does it. Like they got like
Redick is an analyst, and I think Redick.
Yeah, I think they have like 2 analysts now. Like I don't watch a lot of the national circuit anyway. I mean, I have watched a little bit more this year. Like I said, I would watch a little bit more LeBron, and given I truthfully, I thought that he would be in the decline at some point, but he is insane. And we'll get to the trade deadline. But I do want to ask you something, Seth. And you and I have stopped having this conversation two or 3 years ago.
He's not.
No, we did. We stopped.
No, I'm saying he's not.
When does he get there?
He doesn't.
How can he not? So if he plays until
the Miami thing to me will forever stop him from that.
If he plays till he's 45 and does this at 45,
then maybe I have to concede it.
I mean, he's putting up numbers, Seth.
Yeah, I get it.
The next highest guy at his age put up 10 points a game.
Yeah. He's the greatest athlete to ever play basketball. He's the best scorer. He has more points than anyone else, and that's not his primary. It's not his primary. I don't know if I can ever move him above Russell or Jordan. I just don't. I mean, Russell's an impossible discussion because era-wise, it doesn't make sense. His game was so different.
I get it.
Jordan, I go back to one point, and this is really where it goes.
I know where you're going with this. He joined the team.
In a game 7, you have your choice of Jordan or LeBron.
Taking. Am I getting prime of both?
Prime of both. Who are you getting?
Prime of both. So I got one possession.
I didn't say one possession. If it's one possession, I don't know if I go with either of them. But if I have one game to win, game 7, who are you taking?
I don't know the answer.
I'm taking Jordan.
So here's the reason why I think it's a discussion. LeBron could beat you in more ways.
True.
If you double Jordan or even triple Jordan, right? He may get off a jump shot. Okay, there's no way he's driving to the hoop on a triple team. There's no way.
No,
he's not big enough to do it.
No, I get it.
Right? LeBron will triple team. It won't matter. He'll still get.
He can pass it. He's a better look. Jordan's a better scorer. Forget who has the most points. I don't think anyone thinks LeBron is a better scorer than Jordan.
Okay.
Jordan was a better defender.
Yep. But couldn't defend the same positions.
Fair. Did not have the versatility. He could not guard 1 through 5.
Right.
Agreed. Could guard 1 through 3.
Quite frankly, I'm not sure LeBron could guard 5s, but
and he probably couldn't guard 1 either. But
you're not going to put LeBron on. Well, early LeBron could guard 1s. Late LeBron, even
early.
The question is,
where
do you LeBron cannot guard?
Where do you want LeBron's prime to be, and where do you want Jordan's prime to be? Is it basketball or post?
Prime, early, late. LeBron can't guard Jokic.
No.
He can't guard Embiid. He can't guard 5s.
No, he can't. He can guard like a Draymond could guard, where you could guard the middle tier centers. You're not guarding the creme de la creme.
Correct.
So as a rebounder, you're taking LeBron. As a passer, you're taking LeBron. As a scorer, you're taking Jordan. As a defender, I would take Jordan.
Probably
so. Really, what it comes down to is an intangible. And nobody was a killer like Jordan.
No, I agree with that.
And that's why. I mean, look, do I think it's a reasonable argument to say LeBron is the greatest player of all time? Absolutely.
You didn't 3 years ago.
I don't think you can argue that he can't be in the discussion. Okay. I just don't put him above Jordan.
Is he on the Rushmore right now?
Yes.
Okay. Because
the Rushmore.
3 years ago, he wasn't on your Rushmore.
He was on the peripheral.
Okay.
But he wins another title. He's, as you said, at 39, he's what, 26, 7 and 7?
There's no way. So unless there is a huge upgrade somewhere, or he switches teams, he's not winning another title.
Yeah, well, he very well may switch teams. But, I mean, I don't – look, you can make the argument.
Hold on. If he switches teams.
I don't know.
Does that take away from what you're so if he goes to play with
I don't know. But also he's what, 4-10 in finals, 4-6 in finals?
Yep. He got to 10 of them.
He did, and Russell got to 11 and won all.
I'm not comparing him to Russell.
And Jordan got to 6.
Right. So,
and let's be honest, the East, when LeBron was there, the East was pretty freaking weak.
Okay.
Not taking away from going to 10 titles. The dude went to a final with Boobie Gibson and Ilgauskas as the second and third best players.
Right.
We talk about that.
Jordan didn't do that.
No, he didn't. No, Jordan did it with Pippen, who is an all-time top 50.
Yeah.
And either a Horace Grant, who was a very solid player, or a Rodman, who's a Hall of Famer, whether he should be a Hall of Famer or not, but he's a Hall of Famer. And he did not go. And yes, until Pippen and Grant were Pippen and Grant, he did not go to a final. But to be fair, LeBron did not play the Detroit Pistons or the Boston Celtics of the late 80s. There was no one he played that's even comparable.
Played Golden State.
No, but that's for the final. It's not for a conference championship.
Sure, that's fair. That's fair.
So look, I have him number 3. I moved him up a spot.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Russell's just Russell's an impossible argument one way or the other, just because of the difference in eras.
Oh, I if you want to say that Russell, I will not dispute that. I won't even have an argument for it.
It's a hard discussion because
that's my point, right? I can't.
We didn't see him.
I can't go there. I can't.
No,
I can't have an apples to apples discussion with Bill Russell.
I mean, right? None of us can. And the people who watched that I know who watched Russell and watched Chamberlain, all swear by Russell. And every expert you've ever heard, very rarely do you hear anyone saying putting Chamberlain over Russell, unless it's on a pure statistical standpoint. So Russell, for those of you who don't know, played 13 years, won 11 championships. He lost 1 to the Hawks when Bob Pettit scored 50 in Game 6. And then the 66-67 Sixers, which may be the greatest team of all time. Those are the only times he didn't win a title. So but would his game translate to today? No, he wouldn't be anywhere near as dominant, but he wasn't an offensive dominant player. He was a defensive dominant player. And the argument is Chamberlain changed the rules. Russell really didn't, or not to the same degree. Look, you want to make the argument on James. I don't understand how people can say it's not in the discussion. I just would rather, at the end of the day, I look at in a Game 7, who would I want? I would prefer Jordan.
So I'm just looking at LeBron's stats for this year, and this is outside the comparison. This is just awe, right? Just complete and utter awe in what this gentleman is doing. His career averages are 38 points, 38 minutes per game, 27 points, 7.5 rebounds, 7.3 assists. Okay, those are his averages. So he averages basically 27, 8, and 8 for his career, 20 years. His regular season this year is 25, 8, and 8. I mean,
yeah, he's
3 less minutes. I mean,
he's amazing. Like we had a discussion where someone's like, I wouldn't put him in your top 5. What the hell are you like? What the hell are you talking?
Who's your top 5 then? That is this?
Michael? It doesn't matter. You can't have it without him.
Oh, you can. It's called the Looney Tunes.
You can't practically have it with him. I've never understood the Kobe argument. Kobe's not a better player. Kobe's may have been more beloved, but Kobe is not a better player than LeBron. Not even. Durant, great player, not better.
By the way, the other thing is there's never been a more scrutinized player in the history of the NBA than him. Ever. I mean, the only comparison, scrutiny, is Wilt Chamberlain. That's it. And the only reason he was scrutinized was because Bill Russell was winning and he was not.
Yes.
Those are the only 2 guys that can understand what the scrutiny is. And LeBron's had it since he was 15 years old.
LeBron's also had it via social media, which obviously none of these other guys do. Because when you look at the top 10 players of all time, 8 of the 10 are not been active in the last 10 years.
Right.
So, I mean, if you go through your top 10, the only 3 names that you can even put in the realm that are active are LeBron, Durant, and Curry. Agreed? There's no one else that's even close at this point.
Yeah.
Durant has been, Durant has been absolutely demolished on social media. Curry isn't. Curry's just Curry, but Curry's not. Curry's not a threat for a top 5 player all time in my mind.
And I would say 2 things. First of all, LeBron dismissed the "we only dribble a basketball," right? Of all the people, right? I don't think Durant and Curry have pretty much waded into those waters. So some of that is self-inflicted.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with that. I think at all. I think what he has done is marvelous. Nothing wrong with what he's done. But it is self-inflicted, right?
Yes, but that's the position he's comfortable taking, and he does.
While Curry and Durant have not done that. So you can make that claim as well.
Fair.
The other thing that you can state is that Durant and Curry just aren't on social media as much. I mean,
they are. Durant, I mean, has burner Twitter accounts and all this other, and Curry's on for a variety of reasons. But I think it's also, of those 3, how many scandals have you ever really heard? Not much.
Yeah. Well, that's the best part, right? That's for all the crap that LeBron has put on social media, for all the crap that people give him. It's not based on he did anything wrong.
No, you don't hear any personal, you don't hear anything for the most part about him personally. I mean, that he backed BLM, great. He should have backed BLM. I mean, that if that's as far as you're going to go, or that his sneakers are made somewhere, everybody's sneakers are made somewhere.
Yeah,
you can make that argument with anybody. But there's been no publicized personal scandals for any of these guys. He's been with his wife for 20 some odd years, and if whatever that is, if there's anything other, we never hear about it. And in this generation, because of social media, you would think that we would.
You hear about everything,
right? But it's honestly not my bleeping concern. I don't care.
Right. Well, that's
as a married guy, I could give a crap. I could give a shit what other married people do. It's not my point. My problem. But I don't hear about it. So, no, I don't know how he drops out of anyone's top 5. If you want to put Kareem above him, fine. Arguable. You want to put Magic above him? I think it's pretty hard to do, but okay. But to me, nobody has been this good for this long.
Right.
No one's even close.
So, okay, we went down the rabbit hole as we tend to do once a year when we discuss this. This is always the rabbit hole. I will tell you, nobody has used social media more to their advantage than LeBron either. He is a master at let's put an hourglass out there, right? Let's put more pressure. Nobody has been more strategic than LeBron James over the course of let's put pressure on each of our teams to make our teams better. And part of that is the way that he does contracts, right? It's always a 1-and-1. So he banks on himself and always says, I have the opportunity to opt out if I want. I mean, for those that are unaware, LeBron has an option next year for the Lakers. By the way, that option he has until 3 days after the draft to pick up that option, which is the best thing I've ever heard of because, hey, if you want to go play with your son and your son's on the Knicks or your son's on Detroit or your
except his son is not having a very good year.
No, I get it. But
yeah, look, there's a chance that there's a team picks him up simply so they can bring LeBron in.
That's right. I think it's the best leverage play in the world that he can do that. He's trying to put pressure on the Lakers to improve the team by tomorrow. Tomorrow, the deadline is 3:00. The one guy that we keep hearing is Devontae Murray. I'm not exactly sure that actually helps the team, but putting
it probably does. But does it move the needle enough to make the look? When
LeBron doesn't care about 2 years from now. LeBron doesn't.
Right.
So you got 2 picks to give up. If you're LeBron James, you're saying, give them up. I don't care. Go get me Devontae Murray, right? Go get me whoever you can go get me to improve this team. And if you're Rob Pelinka, you're saying, whoa, wait a second. You got this option that you can just get the hell out of here tomorrow. And I don't have the only 2 first-round picks that I can have. And then you think of the second apron, which is always in the back of everybody's mind. And we've gone through this, the restrictions that go on next year. And the Lakers are buttressing up against that too. By the way, the fact that Zach LaVine went under the knife this week, thank you. That totally takes him out of this game. Not sure who wanted him to begin with, or what the Bulls were doing. But sure, what do you think the percentages are that the Lakers make a trade tomorrow? By tomorrow?
About 75%.
And does that trade move the needle at all?
Not enough for them to be relevant. Well, here's the problem.
Relevant is in the playoffs to them.
What'd you say?
Relevancy to them is making the playoffs because that team with those 2 guys can win at least 1, if not 2 series. Just with 2 guys.
Then if that is your bar, then yeah. If you get DeJounte Murray, that can get you there. Or if you get Caruso or whoever you're trying to get. Yeah. I mean, if relevancy is making the playoffs, making the play-in or making the playoffs?
Well, so right now they are 9th. So they're in the play-in, right? They're in the play-in.
Mm-hmm.
They are not going to make the top 4. That is not going to happen. The top 4 is 8.5 games away. They're not making that in 30 games. They're not making that up. So let's presume to get to 6, they would have to knock out either the Kings or the Suns and jump the Mavericks and the Pelicans. I don't think they're jumping. I'm not sure they're jumping 2 teams, let alone 4 teams. And I don't think they're making up 3.5 games on these teams. I think to me, you have the top 4, and then I would stay with Sacramento and Phoenix for 5 and 6 right now going into the playoffs. So you are playing in the play-in game.
Yeah. I mean, look, nobody's going to bet against in a one-off a LeBron and Anthony Davis team. You can't. I mean, I'm looking. So they
would play the Mavericks.
What?
They would play the Mavericks right now in the play-in.
Yep.
So Kyrie plays the Lakers. Yes, please. Yes, please. Luka and Kyrie against LeBron and AD. I would actually watch that whole series.
That would be fun. That would be fun.
It'd be fun. That would be fun. But I don't see them jumping. So if they,
I thought it was actually 7 plays 8. The winner is in, and then.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
And then 9 plays 10, and then 9 has the loser has to. Then 8 has the home field, and then it's 2 out of 3.
You're right. You're right. That's correct. So the Lakers would play Utah. And then the winner of that would play something. I don't even know.
Yeah.
Utah will probably drop out. They are 2.5 games above Golden State and the Rockets. I think the Rockets or Golden State will take that spot. I don't think Utah lasts for that spot.
Probably not.
So
I agree.
Golden State versus the Lakers wouldn't be a bad first-round matchup either.
Nope.
Okay, so I will tell you, though, I would not be the least bit surprised if the Hawks made no trades. No trades whatsoever. So the Hawks are now in the 10 spot. And they are 2 games above the Nets, 3 games above the Raptors. The Raptors are tanking. They don't care, right? I wouldn't be surprised if Jake Podol was traded tomorrow. The Nets, well, they have no reason to really tank. because they don't get their picks. But
they're struggling hard.
They're struggling hard. Let me ask you this as a Nets fan. And this was brought up on one of the various podcasts that I listened to. If you were offered all your picks back, this is like draft day, right? I'll give you all your picks back. All your picks back for Mikal Bridges. Would you do it from the Rockets? So basically three firsts and 2 swaps. Which basically means if you bottom out, you get your picks, right?
Yeah. I don't know.
I think that's a hard thing to turn down.
He's that good. He's just not a number one scorer.
Okay.
He's Kawhi Light.
Wait, but Kawhi Light gets you to the 10th, gets you to the 11th spot, right?
Light.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It gets you to the 11th spot as your top scorer. So you're never going to bottom out, ever.
Yeah.
And even if you do, you still don't have your picks.
Right. But and as of now, you don't have your picks anyway, so it doesn't matter. All your picks are predicated on other teams.
Yep.
I don't know.
I think I'd do it. And I think if I'm Houston, I do it in a heartbeat.
If Houston offers the problem is this. Houston offers their 3 number. What is it? 3 number. Screw that stupid Harden deal. What was my call to you that day?
You said it was a stupid deal.
Stupid deal.
So 4 first-round picks and 3 swaps.
Yeah, I think you have to do it.
I don't think you get all 4 first-round picks because I think one of them has conveyed, but I think it's a lot. The Nets sent Allen, Taurean Prince, and Karis LeVert, as well as 3 first-round picks. Oh, and 4 swaps. So the 2002 is already gone. The 2004 is this year. So they get their 2004, 2024, and 2026 back. And they get their swaps in 25 and 27. So it's basically 2 firsts and 2 swaps.
2 firsts and 2 swaps is not 4 firsts or
That's
4
true.
firsts and a swap.
So let's
that
say
I don't know.
One more. Let's say Houston throws in one more.
It's a 50-50. Because I think we both think Bridges is the best bargain right now in the NBA, other than maybe Jalen Brunson.
We do, but I just don't think he's a bargain that helps you long term unless you think that you can make a free agent poll. Look, if you're the Nets, I will tell you right now, I'd draft Bronny because, my God, that's the only way you're getting a superstar next year. I mean, your number 2 player on that team is who? Nick Claxton?
Simmons?
But you see where we're going with this.
No, I get it. The problem also is they don't belong in Brooklyn. They have no fan base, or the fan base is de minimis compared to the Knicks. It's just a terrible. It's just all of it's just terrible. Yeah, look, I get it, but the problem is you're getting you have a 25-year-old in his prime.
Yep.
As a phenomenal player.
Yep.
Making reasonable salary.
3 more years. Yep.
Yeah, with 3 more years.
2 more years. It was a 4-year deal. 2 more years.
Okay. I mean,
look, I love the deal. I think him and like you said, him and Brunson are the best 2 values. They're on similar contracts. Those 2 are the best value in the NBA. But Brunson may or may not be the best player on the team. Julius Randle may have a word considering he was all NBA last year. It's kind of hard.
Yeah, if you ask 10 Knicks fans, would you rather have Brunson or Randle? 9 of them are going to take Brunson.
Oh, I agree with that, but that doesn't necessarily mean Knicks fans are intelligent. They also think a lot. Knicks fans think.
For all those listening, if you are a Knicks fan and Sean has just called you not intelligent,
I'm a Knicks fan
also need
too.
to log in.
Knicks fans have always thought with their heart, which is why we thought John Starks was a legitimate number 2 next to Patrick Ewing. So, just saying, right? Just saying. But the fact is, you don't have a number 2. You don't even have a number 3. You kind of have 2 4s and 2 5s on that team.
In Claxton and Cam Johnson and Dinwiddie. Yeah.
And Simmons and Dinwiddie. So if you can, and I'm not saying tank.
I also wonder if you're going to do that, can you include the Simmons in the deal?
Maybe. Because why would Houston not want Ben Simmons? I mean, come on. with all their rookies, let's throw them a good player. Let's throw them Ben Simmons. Anyway, okay. Well, so if we're looking at teams that are making trades, first of all, I think you are going to see very little trading tomorrow.
I agree.
I'm not even sure if you see one guy that would start being traded.
Okay.
I mean, look, if the Lakers go all in for DeJounte Murray, you'd obviously see a trade, right? If they can get 2 first-round picks for DeJounte Murray, then you do it in a heartbeat if you're Atlanta, right? If you're for the Lakers. If you can get Austin Reeves instead of D'Angelo Russell,
it's not happening.
By the way, that may be the best contract. 4 years and 4 years.
Yeah, I get it. 4 years and $60 million. I get it.
Okay,
but
so look,
it's a lot easier to say that when you're literally the 3rd or 4th option every game.
100%. Okay, so a couple of things. The Celtics, they just got Xavier Tillman today.
Good deal.
Good deal. He's on the last year of a rookie contract, so I don't foresee him being re-signed.
No, but you need big man. You need big man depth.
Oh boy!
Oh my goodness!
Randy,
what happened?
Randy Zelia. Randy,
what happened?
Hold on. What is up, Seth?
Oh my!
Hold on. We have to ask the net aficionado, Mr. Zelia.
Yes, sir.
If you are Sean Marks and the Houston Rockets come to you and say, we will do the Kevin Costner draft day, we're going to give you all your picks back, but you got to give us Mikal Bridges. What is your answer?
Well, for the fact that draft picks today in the NBA doesn't really mean that much, but probably not. Even though
if you're the Nets, you are a middling franchise, right? And if you bottom out, you don't get what you need.
It's such a big what if. I was listening to what you guys were saying before about it not being a busy deadline, and I was at Barclays Center last night, and the general feeling was they got to do something because this ain't working.
Right.
So what do? You got, other than Bridges, there's nothing of particular value.
Well, you can trade Claxton for.
Yeah, the general feeling they had about Claxton, and this is what I've been hearing from people inside the organization and some other people around. They love Nick Claxton, but you have to ask yourself, are you going to max him out?
That's right.
And the thing is, there's only so many max contracts you can give. I hate that they gave Cam Johnson the contract they gave him last year because it just doesn't work. You're paid a number 4 option, $160 million.
Yeah. Look, I love Nick Claxton too, but I hit a free throw as often as he does. And that's
I've seen you shoot. You don't.
I do. He shoots like 33% for the free throw.
Yes, I've seen you shoot. You don't.
By the way, I had to jump in on the Knicks comment that you made before. You're talking to someone who watched Julius Randle celebrate at the Barclays Center like he won the NBA championship as the Knicks beat the Nets. And this is also coming from the same guy who no-showed against the Miami Heat in the playoffs last year.
It's true.
Knicks fans really have to take a good look at their team and look where they are. This is Jalen Brunson's team. And they just need to they need help too. Boston is the most complete team in the Eastern Conference.
Correct. Boston has the difference between, I feel, with some teams in Boston is Boston has a point of failure, a 0 point of failure.
Right.
If Porzingis is hurt, this team does not win.
Agreed.
Period. Single point of failure. They can lose Tatum before they can lose Porzingis. They can lose Brown before they can lose Porzingis. Porzingis is the only one that can, and we said this when the trade happened, right, Seth? He is the single point of failure in that team. They do not have a guy that can do what he can do.
And I also think with the Celtics too is you lost Marcus Smart and Derek White has not skipped a beat.
It's been sensational.
Yeah, that team has been in very, very good shape. They've been very lucky to have the type of depth that they had. The problem is they're missing that veteran who's won a championship to help give them that. They need a Udonis Haslem on that team.
Do they? They've been to the finals. How much more experience do you need if your two best players have been to the finals?
Well, the problem is they didn't win those finals.
But they've been there.
By the way, I'd like to point out, Seth, that if you are looking for a home, Randy is giving us a tour of his.
I'm trying to walk away from kids following me.
For all the real estate agents out there that are looking to put a listing on a home.
This kid.
Yeah.
So,
and I'm sorry, and not to totally ignore what you were saying before about the Nets. If you look at what they have as far as assets are concerned, I know the deal for Devontae Murray had been saying the Nets don't want to give a second number one pick out to get that deal done. If you look at the roster, Royce O'Neal, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Spencer Dinwiddie are the three guys that people are chasing after as far as teams are looking at. I'm looking around and trying to figure out what the Nets really need, and what they really need is not available at the trade deadline this year.
Yeah, I agree.
They need a number one.
They need a number one. They need a guy who's going to help draw people to the stadium. They need a franchise player, and that franchise player is just not available.
So in the second round of the NBA draft, the Brooklyn Nets select Bronny James and hope that the father comes there for 1 year.
The closest thing that I heard about a number one guy being available was Mike Dunleavy saying that they were trying to they were thinking about breaking up the Warriors. But the problem is that's not happening for at least another
Who's trading for Thompson's contract?
Nobody's trading for Thompson.
Or Green's contract.
Well, first of all, Thompson's a free agent after
Thompson's a free agent after this year. I'm sorry. But
Draymond Green's got a $4-year, $100 million contract, which nobody wants. Andrew Wiggins has a 4-year, $100 million contract, which nobody wants. Kuminga's unavailable. And if you want Curry, back up the truck because Charlotte's first in line. And they will give every pick into the service.
You know, it's funny you say that, but you know who would end up getting him? The Heat. Somehow Pat Riley would make
under normal. There is nothing that he can offer to Golden State.
It does not matter because Golden State will trade him where he wants to go.
He will trade them Shaq. He'll find a way to put Shaq in a deal.
And Udonis Haslem and his salary because that's always been a – so before –
Is Glenn Rice available as well?
Guys, Mike Miller and Antoine Walker is in that deal as well.
20 minutes and the biggest football game of the season is on Sunday, and we haven't talked about it. So,
right,
Randy, hold on. I need a prediction. Mr. Zelli.
Oh. I'm going to go I don't know. It feels like this is a revenge game for the 49ers. I feel like they have a little bit more weapons than the Kansas City Chiefs do, but it's hard to bet against the Chiefs. It really is. But I'm gonna throw it out there. I'm gonna say, since I have a lot of friends that are 49ers fans, I want to see them happy. I'm gonna go 27-20 49ers.
Fantastic. Thank you, Randy. We'll have you on in a couple of weeks.
Niners,
guys, great seeing you.
All right, see you.
Hey, thanks. Don't be a stranger.
So,
wow, the odor of Back Sports Page.
I'd like to point out that why do San Francisco 49er fans get to be happy? And I'm a Jets fan that hasn't been happy in 35 years. So Randy, when do I get to be happy?
The day after you're dead.
That'll be the day the Jets win a Super Bowl.
Probably. Or the Mets win the World Series.
I did say, look, in order to get into Vegas for the game this week, do you know what the get-in cost of a seat is?
$8,000.
Yeah, $8,000. So between that and the ticket and the hotel, I would have been shelling out $15,000. You know, I would have happily done it, right? I mean, without any doubt whatsoever. However, I would also be cursing up the wazoo that this is the year that they made it because it would be the most expensive ticket. You know,
And let's be honest,
right.
They would have either lost 41-6 or they would have lost on a wide right field goal at the buzzer.
Okay, thanks for that. I appreciate that.
No problem. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah. Okay. So I did see a lovely TikTok today where they were saying if you want to troll the Chiefs, the Niners should come out to any Taylor Swift music, which I think would be fantastic.
Be funny.
I do. So what do you think about the game? Where are your
I think we'll see Taylor Swift at least 11 times.
That's got to be an over-under prop bet, right?
I would think so.
Okay, so okay.
Let's just take a look what the prop bet is.
I'm doing that now. I'm asking you for a prediction on the game, though.
31-26.
31-26. All right, so prop bets. So hold on. I'm looking for it now. There are a lot of them. They say prop bets are, hold on, here we go. Principal Taylor Swift prop bet. Oh, this is, here we go. All right. Where is it? How to bet
at least.
Okay. Will Taylor Swift be shown on camera at least 6 times?
Yes.
Will Taylor Swift make it to the Super Bowl on time for kickoff? Yes. Because she'll get in the day before. Yep. Will Taylor Swift be wearing a Kelce jersey?
Of course.
Will Swift be shown singing along with the national anthem? I'll go no.
No.
I think that's a little much. Will Kelce make Swift's famous hard hands after scoring a touchdown? No. Yes. I'll say yes. Well, first, will Kelce score a touchdown?
Yeah.
Okay. Will Swift be shown hugging Kelce's mom during the game?
Yes.
Yes. Will Swift hug Brittany Mahomes after a Chiefs touchdown? I'd say no.
Yes.
I say no. Will the broadcasters mention a Swift lyric at least 3 times? A lyric. I'm going no.
I wouldn't know if they did or didn't because I don't know any of her lyrics other than something about bad blood.
Will Swift be shown on camera during Usher's Super Bowl halftime? Absolutely.
Yep.
Will Swift be in a Super Bowl commercial?
No.
Will Kelce quote a Swift song after the game concludes? I go no.
No.
Unless he says, well, the haters are going to hate.
Hate.
I could see him saying the haters are going to hate. Will Kelce and Swift kiss on the field after the game? Only if they win.
If they win.
So will Swift be shown holding the Lombardi trophy? Absolutely not. Even if they win, absolutely not. Will the Super Bowl MVP mention Swift in his speech?
No.
Because it'll be Mahomes if it's the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Will Swift receive a Gatorade shower on the field?
No.
Will Kelce propose to Swift after the game?
No.
No. This is a pretty cool thing to put down, though, if you want to play this game at home. I mean, that's not the prop bets on the Vegas line, but that was pretty good. By the way, the propose to Swift on TV, you can't get them in New York, but it is 12-1 in Canada.
Oh, there's even better ones.
Ridiculous that you can bet on. Oh no, we okay. So
will Swift's travel from Japan to Las Vegas be shown on CBS at any point?
Yes.
That's plus 400. That's actually not a bad bet.
100% that'll happen. Okay. So I love some of these prop bets. A punt will end up as a touchback, plus 134.
Yeah, I would think so.
There will be overtime, plus 1,120. I'd put money on there being
I'd put
overtime.
$20 on that.
Yeah.
Sure.
A team will score a safety. I would not put money on that. So, all right. So so you believe that Chiefs or Niners?
I just told you 31-26. I didn't give you a team.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Um,
That's really high scoring too.
It is. It's a Super Bowl. Typically, other than the New England Rams game, most of the games are. I mean, look, I really like San Francisco's offense. I really have no feel, honestly, who's going to win this game. San Francisco is a better team, but who the hell bets against Kansas City?
I would not.
Big game.
I would not. I put Kansas City. I think Kansas City is going to win the game. I don't want them to win the game. I
don't know who I'm
should. I don't believe they're the more talented team. I think San Francisco is the more talented team. But if you, much the same way as you told me, if I needed Jordan or if I needed LeBron, well, if I need Brock Purdy or I need Pat Mahomes.
Yeah. All right. 26-23 Kansas City.
26-23 Kansas City. All right. So here are some other prop bets. Kelce, touchdown, 105. Yeah, I'll take the Kelce touchdown.
I'll take it too.
Kelce over 7.5 catches and Kansas City wins. Well, we both think Kansas City's going to win. Over 7.5 catches. I'm going to take the under for 7.5 catches.
I'm not. I think the only two people who are getting catches in this game are going to have the ball thrown to them are him and Rice, other than from a running back or tight end, from a wide receiver or tight end perspective. You can't trust MVS. You can't trust. I mean, Kadarius Toney is ridiculous.
Okay. Here's a prop bet. Kadarius Toney gets 5 snaps in the game. I like that bet.
That's tough. Because he is an incredible threat. It's just
he may not play. They may not suit him up.
I have no idea what to do with that.
How about this one? Kelce over 215 yards is a plus 25,000. There's no way he gets 200 yards. None.
Well, you put $1 on that, sure.
I guess.
I mean,
that's.
I like this. Cost of engagement ring, over or under $250,000.
I'll go under. By the way, did you watch? Not to go off of this, but did you watch the Grammys at all?
No. The only thing I saw was Tracy Chapman Fast Car,
which was amazing.
Awesome. Which was awesome.
Amazing. Thanks to state-by-state regulations, no one will legally be wagering in the United States on Taylor Swift prop bets. That sucks. But you can bet in Canada. I mean, because why wouldn't you be able to bet in Canada? Okay. Andy Reid wins. Andy Reid retires?
No.
Eric Bieniemy is on the Kansas City Chiefs staff next year? Where does he go?
Well, that's the thing. He may be just an offensive analyst kind of position, a consultant for them, because it certainly doesn't hurt to have him. He's not going to be an OC anywhere else, it looks like. So, sure.
Okay. Bill Belichick is where next year?
Fox.
Bill Belichick's next job in an NFL team will be
the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, let that rain. Please let that happen. For the love of God, let that happen. The Jets coach in 2025 will be.
Ben Johnson.
Wow. See, and I would say it's Mike Vrabel. I think it'll be Mike Vrabel. And the Giants coach in 2025 will be.
Mike Vrabel. No, I think it'll be Dable.
It'll be Dable. You think that? Okay. Okay. Caleb Williams will be the starting quarterback for this team in 2024. So no trade. Despite all the – by the way, the NFL is loving the fact that Cliff Kingsbury went to Washington.
Oh, yeah.
It just gives more and more.
Yeah, I mean, the practicality, if you think Williams is a generational quarterback,
You take him.
trading down.
Right. You take him and be good. All right. The best player to be traded tomorrow will be.
DeJounte Murray.
Okay. So I think Murray stays home. I don't think he goes anywhere. And I will say the best player that gets traded tomorrow will be Wendell Carter Jr. from Orlando.
Why would they trade him? He's got a good contract.
He's got a decent contract, and so tomorrow is going to be the crux of all these teams that are looking at that second apron and going, I got to make a deal now. Because starting next year, if you are above that second apron, I think that there are 7 teams that are currently scheduled to be above that second apron. You cannot accumulate salaries to make trades. So you can't cobble together X, Y, and Z to put it together for a better player. So if you are a team that is above that second apron, and I believe those teams are the Celtics, the Cavs will be close, the Bucks, the Clippers are for sure there, the Timberwolves, I don't know if the Nuggets are there. The Suns are definitely there. And you're looking for a big man, Carter may be available. Carter may be there. Another guy that you could look at maybe getting traded is Markelle Fultz. Another guy on a decent contract. But look, I think Orlando is prime that they can get picked. I don't think you'll see DeJounte Murray. You may see Bogdanovich, but I doubt it. And quite frankly, I think the buyout market will be better than the trade market. I think you're going to see Kyle Lowry bought out. I think you're going to see Gordon Hayward bought out. And you're going to see those guys go to some of these teams. And if you're the Knicks, I'd be looking at Kyle Lowry 100% because they need a guy that can man that second unit. Right now, they don't have one. Hayward wouldn't be a bad spot either. Okay. Anything you got for your last 5? I know we're a little running early, but by the way, Nick Saban is joining ESPN Game Day because why would
What are your thoughts on ESPN, Fox, and Warner Brothers streaming?
Garbage. It is going to be it is going to be $50. I think that's your price point. I think it's garbage because for all those leagues that are locked, look, you're not going to get NFL on there, right?
Nope.
I mean, you're not even going to get DirecTV. You're not even going to get the YouTube NFL on there at all.
Nope, it's Google.
You can still watch your TNT basketball, right? You're still going to be able to watch your ESPN basketball, at least for the first couple of years. They're not going to move that all to that pay site. That's not going to happen. You're still going to watch your NHL on TNT. You're still going to watch your college basketball on CBS. I think it is about I think your price point is going to be about $50, and you will get a limited market. And I will not be part of that because I will be using other services that I don't need. And I think they are going to combine their Hulu, right? Hulu will go on there. I think you're going to have your Fox, what you currently can get on Fox. And they're just going to take all all their services right now that you may pay for and put it on that service. So it's one, but at the end of the day, I won't be joining it. And I don't see it being a huge success maybe for 5 or 10 years. Once all those contracts are gone, all those multi-billion-dollar contracts are gone, you may see it as something in the future. But for tomorrow, no.
Also, any thoughts on what should happen to Vince McMahon?
Besides the fact that I hope never to hear from him again, that's about it.
Fair enough.
I mean, yeah. So 2 things. Number 1, if you're a Syracuse fan, Benny Williams.
What happened to Benny?
Immaturity. It's just that simple. Not all top 40, top 50 prospects work out. It's just not there. And I'm sorry that you guys lost to Rutgers last night. And yeah, you stink. But look, for all the movement that we've seen with players, especially in the NBA and now in baseball and the NFL, it's really nice to see Jose Altuve resign. It's really nice to see Clayton Kershaw back with the Dodgers. Like, those guys, really nice to see that happen, that these guys are going to stay on contracts for the remainder of their careers. I mean, and I'm forgetting the guy that I wanted to bring up. He signed a 10-year deal. Who am I thinking? Oh, Bobby Witt. Witt.
200. Kansas City signs a $280 million deal.
He is the Joe Mauer of the Kansas City Royals, and there's nothing wrong with that. He has actually, it's a 7-year deal with opt-outs after 8, 9, 10, and 11. So he can always opt out. And then if he doesn't opt out, the Royals can pick up a 3-year option. It's as good a deal as Kansas City was going to get. It's a good deal for him. It locks in an 11-year deal, 7 years guaranteed for Bobby Witt. And like I said, when Joe Mauer re-signed with Minnesota, look, we both talked about this when it first happened. That's so long ago at this point that we were happy they didn't go to the Yankees because it gave Minnesota a person, right? A flag.
Yes.
A guy that you can hang.
A flagship guy. Yeah.
I'm really happy that Kansas City has a flag.
Yeah, the number threw me more than anything else.
Especially when
probably also helps gets them a stadium.
Well,
and they belong in Kansas City.
Their longest deal before this was Salvi Perez at
4 years at $80
million. So they just added $200 million and said, go. Thank you so much. So I wish Bobby Witt all the luck, and I will continue to root for Kansas City just in general. So I will take the Chiefs at 24-20. And for Seth Kamens, I'm Sean Palmer, and we'll see you guys next week. Have a great week, everybody. See ya.
Enjoy the Super Bowl.